know he talked about opening a place down there. Should probably meet. Oh, fuck me.
Shit. Well, you can't have good things, folks. There's over on the desk back here, you've got all of the. Well, let's go ahead and start anyway. There's paper towels on the desk over there.
Which one? Over here?
Yeah.
I read the news today. A two-bit expose of the same old story that I heard yesterday. Yeah, it goes the headlines, man. They all just go to plan. They're framed and fixed and rigged, and you know they're all just spam. So buckle down, plug right in. It crawls its way under your skin. Just got foul from the things they spout, and it won't make you shout. Give me that good news, because I'm tired of the same old shit.
Hey, we do not have the same old shit this morning. As Giles and Jones, the grounds. Well,
I just spilled the ground.
just spilled them all over. Is coffee went everywhere, folks. That's why we can't have nice things here. At 21.6, this is the grounds with Giles and Jones. It's the spillage with Giles and Jones now. And, of course, the grounds, the most entertaining and interesting show here on 21.6 The Net. As, 21.6 The Net is all about bringing you good stuff. Now, this show, you can go ahead and join us on this show. And how do you do that? Well, I'm posting a URL right now, right into the comment section of this, but you can jump on, you can be part of this great broadcast. You'll see that Scott is still trying to dry off all the computers and electronics here in studio. Just minutes, seconds before we went live, he decided to,
And I'm not even jittery.
he decided to, just throw my cup of coffee all over the studio. And this is obviously now brought to you through the community home inspections. 847, what is it? 491 401 9501. CommunityHomeInspections.net, which is good stuff. And holy cow, all the way from the Grapevine. Been on the road the last 5 weeks. Don, good morning. Welcome in.
I haven't seen Don forever.
You've been doing the whirlwind. You've been up in this neck of the woods as well, I understand, which is great. Glad things are going well for you. Hey, today we want to talk about
Spilling coffee.
just hear Scott share the explicit if that's he spilled. Yeah, perfect timing. Today we want to talk about, Scott, there's the old saying, the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence.
Yeah, that's what they say.
My question to you is, what if your grass is the greener grass?
Then you put down a lot of fertilizer.
Yeah.
What if your grass is the greener grass? I don't think anybody believes that.
Why?
I think the human condition always makes us look at someone else and what they have and wish we had it. At least as far as what I understand when I'm talking to a lot of people, that it seems like not a lot of people are satisfied with what they have. They could always have bigger, better, stronger, faster, or greener, right? I mean, literally last night, my neighbor said, "Oh my God, your grass looks so great."
How about that?
And I laughed because my grass, if you get really into it, it looks from afar, it looks good. But when you get up close, it's got the weeds. It's got the little extra flowers and the bald patches and stuff. But from a distance, someone else looking at me or my grass goes, "Wow, that's nice."
So is your grass greener?
In my mind or in their mind?
In yours.
No.
Why not?
I didn't put down the fertilizer. I don't think I've done the work to make it the
Oh, on your
greenest
yard.
grass.
I'm talking
Right.
metaphorically.
Right.
Right.
So metaphorically,
You're saying metaphorically you haven't used the fertilizer.
I haven't used the fertilizer, and that's one thing that I like, and one reason I wanted to start this podcast. This is kind of like a fertilizer for me, right? It makes me think about things and put different, I'm going to use the term nutrients or information in my head to look at things differently. And to realize that, you know what, my grass really is green, like super green. But for whatever reason, it's really hard for me to see that and appreciate that. And I don't think I'm unusual in that respect. I think a lot of people think that same way.
So, are you a perfectionist? Don says grass is greener where you water it.
That is true.
No.
No, so if you water it, doesn't it get greener?
But you can overwater, kill it.
So you can I guess you could too. You could overwater your grass, over fertilize your brain. You know, not kill it, but you could definitely overload it.
So would you say you're a perfectionist?
Yeah.
You strive for perfection.
Yeah.
How's that working for you?
It doesn't work very well. It doesn't work very well because it's never good enough.
All right. So, here's hey, Gary, welcome back.
Good morning, Gary. Good morning, Don. I was just wondering about where Don was at. I hadn't seen him in weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, come on in, Gary. Absolutely. Proper balance, Danielson. Well, yeah, you always want that proper balance, of course. Go ahead. There's the URL link. Go ahead and copy that, paste it in, come in and be part of this grand conversation. So as we talk about the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, meaning somebody else's life or yard or whatever looks always better than yours. What about your kids?
What about my kids?
Yeah, so if you got offspring, which you, Don, do,
Right.
Gary does as well. If you got kids, are they playing in your yard or are they playing in their own yard?
A little bit of both. And as a parent, I think that you're, at least for me, and I know I'm not right, but I'm trying to get them to play somewhat in my yard while growing and, greening their yard, if you will. As a parent, we try to teach them rules, ideas, just how to try to be themselves, if you will, right? The only way we know how to do that is from what we've experienced and what we've been through. And that there's a fine line to letting them green up their own grass and, cultivate their own mind, their own thoughts, their own life, and not, I don't want to say interfering, but not interfering, to a point. You've got to let them fail, let them figure out how they're going to make their, as you put it, their grass greener.
So you have adult children. I have adult children. I've also got a young child who's still in my yard, right? Still in the house. If you would have met that adult person without knowing them, right? So they move in next door.
My child, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That adult person.
Yeah.
Would you think their grass is greener?
Yeah.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
So here's what this is kind of what I've been running through is and this is what I tell my kids. This is the way I raise my kids. I go, there's the old saying, the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. I go, I want you to know it's the same damn yard. Someone just put a fence through the middle of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Right?
Yeah.
When you think about that. And I look at the way that I raise my kids, and Alice and I raised our kids to be strong individuals, and they lead their own life. They're away. It's a little different in your dynamic because your kids are close, right here in town and whatnot,
Right.
or within spitting distance. My son lives, out in Virginia. My daughter lives down in Wheaton. It's close, but
Right.
still
yeah.
a distance, right?
Right.
Take 45 minutes or whatever to get there. And it's interesting that I think that their grass is pretty green. I look at them and go, man, my son's owns his own house. He's 27. He owns his own house. He's in the Navy, defending the United States. Proud of him. He's training people for the Navy. Da 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 da. And I'm like, man, I love this young guy, right? and I'm proud of them. But at the same time, I then look at my grass and go, oh my grass, is the grass greener someplace else? And I wonder as parents why we try to keep the kids in our yard, and then all of a sudden we take a look and go, let me help you with your yard over here. You know what I mean? Once they become adults, it's like, no, let me help you with your grass. When really they could be sitting there like,
leave me alone,
smoking cigars, Victory cigars, going, I've got life by the tail.
Right.
Well, it's just interesting.
It is interesting because, I mean, for me as a parent, I relish the fact that my kids can totally take care of themselves and have their own lives, but I don't want them to, completely disappear. You know what I mean? It's hard for me as a parent to let go, and I think that's probably a common thing, unless your kids are just complete assholes. But I mean, my kids, I brought them up to be good, strong individuals and think for themselves and stuff like that. And they've done that and they've become that.
Yeah.
But now that I did my job, I'm going, what's my next job then? Right? To help them tend the grass that they've already grown, to help them further themselves, help them make themselves better and not envy the person next door's grass. And this is why.
Yeah. Shayna, good morning. Shayna says, metaphorically, if everyone just took care of their own damn lawn, our issues would be less. And of course, we just want to state that this is an opinion-based show. There's no fact. You don't need to send this to the Ministry of Truth. We just want that to be aired out there, that is the way it is. And Lisa, good morning. There's our good friend Gary coming in. We'll see if we can get him in. Hello, Gary. Welcome in, brother.
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening. Well, Lisa says, oftentimes the grass appears greener on the other side because it's fertilized with excess bullshit.
You're listening to 2160. You're home for fertilizer.
Right. Well, I mean, and that grass might look greener, but you don't know what it took to get that grass, or really the strength of that grass. And and then we keep saying the grass is greener, but that person might be just look better put together, more put together than you, but you don't know what their struggles are. When they go inside that house and close that door, you don't know. Yeah. They might drive a little bit nicer car than you, or their yard might be pruned a little bit better than yours.
Don says the same thing. Hey, exactly. They kind of said the same thing. Great minds think alike. Shayna, nice. Sal comes in. Good morning, my friend. We got the Texas crowd going.
Giant leprechaun.
Looks like a giant leprechaun. Actually, Sal, my shirt and hat are just greener than yours. That's all.
Had I known, I wore pink today.
That's all. We'll bring you back in. There's Gary. He's back.
I clicked the wrong button.
Don't do that. Clicking the wrong button. It's not good.
What's that?
Which one? There's great AstroTurf that appears real.
Yeah.
Well, fake green.
Here's the deal. And I was thinking about it after Bill, who Bill had on his show on Wednesday. And it's crazy how much we as a society, especially here in America, Gary, try to live up to other people's standards, but now have gone, but I don't want to hurt, I don't want to touch your lawn. I'm so sorry. I leaned on your fence. I'm so concerned now that I'm going to irritate somebody or hurt their feelings. And I'm so scared now to be myself, to think critically, to speak critically, to be able to go, you know what? Listen, the reason your grass is greener is because you keep throwing all your trash on my fucking lawn. Guess what? Get your shit. You know what I mean? Right. But instead, I just cower and pick up the trash and smile and wave across the fence. And, oh my gosh! I don't want to say anything to him. Well,
Right.
But we always. We see that the grass is greener, but now I tend to give you gardening tips. Oh, the grass is greener over there in Scott's yard. He's got everything. Look, he's got cars, vacations, homes, this, businesses, that, third, da-da-da-da. Oh, man, they're always happy outside playing with the grandchildren. La, 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 la. Oh, by the way, you might want to try this fertilizer.
Yeah,
Let me just butt my ass into your business.
a lot of that you're talking about is kind of smoke and mirrors in everyone's lives, and it's no one's life is what you really what you see it as or perceiving it as. Everyone's got things going on. It's just how you see it. And you had mentioned that why we care. Kind of why do we care?
Yeah.
Or try to live up to other people's expectations. I'm not sure what inside of us causes that, other than the generation that we were raised in, saying, oh, well, look what Billy's got. Billy's got a new bicycle. Is that going to make him happier? Well, no, but he looks happy because he got a brand new bicycle. And I want one, but then you get that bicycle and you're still the same. I'm still the same Scott, but now I've got that new shiny bicycle.
What does Don say? If you're on a boat, it can be rocking in the waves and feel like a rough ride. You see a boat in the distance that looks smooth as you swim to it. You get on it, you realize it's rocking too. And if the boats are rocking, must be rocking for a different reason.
Right.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, and Gary, in Singapore, here in America, you got to keep up with the Joneses. Bigger, better, bigger, better, bigger, better, bigger, better. Do the people in Singapore try to do that? Is it try to keep up with the Joneses?
Yeah, I mean, I think that accounts for every society and every country. The keeping up with the Joneses, comparing lifestyle, what you have and what I don't have. I guess it's a matter of to what degree and whether does it account for most of the social population in that country.
Yeah.
And the most important thing, how disruptive is that to daily life or even work? So sure, we have that. You might have seen the movie Crazy Rich Asians, which actually doesn't show what Singapore is really like. It just shows that top, perhaps 2 or 3%, the craziness of that. Most of us just get on with our daily lives. We don't do that comparison thing that what seems to be quite prevalent. But I guess it's the younger generation that wants to do it because of TikTok and things like that.
Yeah.
Or Facebook or whatever.
Right.
I mean, is it possible for somebody not to compare themselves to somebody else? I mean, can you really be that comfortable that you don't compare to another person and look at their life and go, that's what I want, or, wow, they've got it together? I mean, is that possible? I know there's a lot of people out there that are super strong and have a very good sense of worth and are proud and do lots of good things and have a good life. But deep down inside, I think that everybody kind of yearns to have what someone else has, or envious of what they have and are trying to achieve that, however big or small that may be. And that comes down, I think that comes down to an insecurity thing. And
yeah, in a way, you're right. Yeah. Well, think of it this way. That can also be, if you look at it from the other side of the coin, a point of motivation. That's something that I probably want to aim to, and it's a nice aspiration to have perhaps a bigger house, a better car, whatever. It's a nice aspiration to it's just a target, motivation. But then, to what degree does that process of reaching it consumes your entire life? If it goes overboard, then I think we have a very big problem. But if it's just something that's in a distance, okay, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, hey, life isn't fair for everybody.
There's nothing wrong with striving
to
be better, right? Yep. And to get things. But I think what we're all missing, the point that we're all missing, and important to understand is, you hear this a lot more lately than before, is it's not the destination, it's the journey. And everybody's just saying, if I get this, then I'll be happier. When I get this, I'll be happier. If I do that, I'll be happier, instead of just accepting and looking really at what they have and looking at their, quote unquote grass, saying, it's not that bad. It grows, it's green, it's somewhat soft. I can play in it. But a lot of us don't take that time to really sit back and go, you know what? It is good. I don't need to worry about the Joneses' grass. I don't need to worry about my neighbor's grass. My grass is really green. I've done a good job of maintaining it. But are we?
Well,
That's the thing.
everyone compares themselves to others at some point. Lisa says the key would be to train yourself to look for inspiration rather than envy.
True.
I,
Yeah.
I was going to say, is there a point in life? Is there a point in life, an age in life, where you stop looking at somebody else's grass? You're just happy for them, like, hey, good yard, happy for you.
If you ask me personally, I guess it's once you pass, for myself personally, once you pass the post 40 years,
Yeah.
you really don't give a damn anymore.
Mostly. Well, because I'm sitting here and I go, I don't look at other people's. I don't look at my neighbor's yard or other people's life.
Yeah.
Man,
Right.
you know what? I really wish I had Scott's life. I mean, I'm just picking
Right,
I'm
yeah.
just picking on you, right?
Yeah,
'Cause you're
please
across
do.
the table.
That's no.
Or I
that's-
really wish I had Gary's life, because deep down I'm like, somewhere they're fucked up just as much as I am.
Yes, correct.
And being a banker, I'm like, they're in debt. You know what I mean?
You're right.
You're
Yes,
no
you're right.
different than me.
Right, big house, great, whatever, right?
Right.
They are slave to the system. You know, they
We're
become
all
slaves
built
to the
at a
system.
different level. Exactly.
And I truly sit here.
And you don't see that though. You don't know that. So you see
No.
the guy driving. Let's just, I'm going to use a nice car. The guy's
Yeah,
driving
Jag
a
or
Porsche.
something,
Guy's
right?
driving a Jag or a
Yeah.
Porsche. You're going, man, he's really taking care of himself. You know what? That guy's probably more fucked up than we are, and he's using that car to please himself.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what someone's going on in someone else's life, and until you walk the old adage, until you walk a mile in my shoes, you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
So at what point in life, if at all, can you get to that point to where you don't give a
some
shit?
people never do.
I was just going to say,
Yeah,
some people
yeah,
never do.
true.
Some people start out right away and are totally fine with, what, I don't
True.
care.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me, I strive to get to the point where I don't care in
Yeah.
a nice way. I do care, and I always will care about people and trying to help them. But getting to that point to where I don't look at, because I mean, if from the outside world, my life, I'm sure looks freaking awesome. I've got a good family. We're all healthy.
Yeah.
I've got
Own
some business. I've got some
American
business.
dream.
American dream, right?
Yeah.
Well, we had that was one of our shows, the American Dream.
Yeah.
What is the American dream? Chasing someone else, what someone
Yeah.
else has. For what? What do we get out of it in the end? Nothing. Because you can't take any of it with you. You can share it while you're here, and God bless you if you do share it, because that's really, for me, I enjoy sharing. And that's why I go deeper. I like to talk a lot of times with people, because I'm sharing and trying to go, wow, like at golf last night, I was talking with, we're all the same. It's just whether we depend to share with people and learn maybe from their experiences and what's working from them, instead of envying them, going, oh, wow, you've got it together. Well, come home with me and, be that fly on the wall, right?
Yeah. So Shane says, I like what I like, and don't get much out of the one-up thing. I wonder if the 20K handbag in the clearance bin at Walmart would be recognized for its extraordinary craftsmanship. I'm good. Yeah. I'm that way. I'm like, listen, I'll go shop at Savers at the thrift store. And people throw away good shit all the time.
Oh, hell yeah, they do.
I've gotten $80 shirts for
$2. Yeah.
and you wash them. There's no stains on them. You check them out. Make sure nobody was murdered in it or something.
So
No blood stains and
not
things
too
like
proud,
that.
but which is good.
Now underbritches are different.
Yeah, no,
I won't.
no.
Some have roamed. I won't do that. I would rather ask them how they got their grass looking good. Maybe I can learn something and improve. Yeah, no, exactly.
Boom.
That's kind of what Lisa's saying. The interesting thing is that I just. We are in such a weird time in history that I see more and more and more and more and more people generally caring about what you think about me. And I want to stand up and just say, oh, listen to me. Look at me. Hey, look at my grass. And I'm the type of guy, and I'm like, stay out of my yard.
Right. Well, what's the saying that people's opinion of me is none of my business.
Yeah.
It would, how do getting to that point for me, because I do struggle with that when I make decisions and stuff. How's this going to affect everybody else? What are they going to think about me when I do that? Why? I think that, and that drives me nuts, because deep down inside, I don't want to care, but for whatever reason, I do think about that. If I could knock that out of my life, I'd have it by the balls.
Yeah, well, yeah, and of course, this show. Of course, we can always go with every successory poster that was printed, and every motivational quote and whatnot.
Right.
If I can, and Lisa says, "Hey, if we can say I did the best with what I had," the answer is yes, perfect. If the answer is no, how to change it. Life's not ever that simple, but it is just that simple.
It's easy. It is
Right?
just that simple. But yeah.
Oh, hey, Bob. Good morning, Pops. How are you, bud? What does he say there?
All right. So Bob says, too many people in the world want instant gratification and indeed do not enjoy the trip. Give it to me now syndrome.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Therapy for me is mowing the lawn.
Yeah.
Therapy I got this brand new Ryobi battery operated mower. It's cool. No oil, no gas, no noise. It's awesome. Right? And I'm just out there mowing my own lawn, trying to make it look as best I can. And it's therapeutic for me. I love following.
I said instant gratification. That's why.
No, not
because it goes from looking shabby to beautiful in a little while.
Well, it never looks shabby. Let's understand that. All right. But what I like to do is I just focus. It gives me a chance to focus on what I'm doing. I can put music on. It's a way for me to. It's just therapy.
You're disconnecting
by it,
right? You're disconnecting.
And I can take pride in that, but I'm also moving. I'm working. I'm doing something. But I'm not mowing my lawn for my neighbors. I could care less, right?
You're doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
To say, hey, to be proud of what I want to say accomplish in trimming your grass. I mean, and go to the brain. You're happy that you've accomplished, and you're feeding your brain, feeding your mind to train it to do the things that you want, or to appreciate what you have in this world, right? Because I know when I get done doing my grass, literally at my house, it's like, you know what? It does look nice. I've worked hard to get to this point, and sit back and appreciate it. Nowhere near as much as I should, as well as in a personal level, sitting back and actually enjoying and appreciating the things that I do have, and really taking the time to
do that.
Not enough, my man. Not enough, my brother.
How often does anybody? I'm not just saying.
Right.
You.
No, I know.
You
can pick on me all you want, because this is right in my wheelhouse. This is what Scott Giles these days, I don't want to say exists for, but this is the quest that I am on. Right? Why am I always looking at other people's grass, and why is it greener? You and I have wonderful conversations about these things, right? And if I had met you on the street tomorrow, I would not in a million years think that was going to be the case.
Yeah.
Right. And just because you prejudge somebody, right?
I mean, the world has changed. I like what Don says. I don't like what you say, so I'm going to burn your grass. Yeah. Cancel it. We're going to get the bobcat out. We're going to scoop up that sod. No more grass for you. Right. But I take a look here in America, and if I'm someplace now, and I have a corporate job, and I'm someplace, and I see somebody wearing a suit and tie today.
They still make those?
A suit and tie today. And I go,
what's that?
They do still make those. Men's Warehouse.
Man, I remember I wore that every day. I remember when that was acceptable every day in the business world. And now you can get away with just a shirt, right? Business casual. But I also remember, a time, leave it to Beaver, when Mom would dress up to do housework.
And stay home.
When you had to wash up, change your shirt before dinner, right? When the everyday outfit was a suit and tie, no matter what you did.
I know Bob can definitely speak to that one, because that was his life for many, many, many moons.
And now it's not that it doesn't look good, but what goes through my head is, yeah, I work with a couple guys who wear shirts and ties every day at the bank.
Right.
They're great guys, but I look at them and go, "You never leave your goddamn office. Why are you wearing a shirt and tie?" And we're up on a floor where customers don't. You're non-customer facing.
Well, so part of that is, I know when I dress up, I do feel better. You know where they say dress for success, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day, I think the suits thing was kind of like when you're going to a Catholic school or something like that. They have a dress code, right?
Yeah.
The dress code, because then you don't
still do. Yeah.
Well, right, but then you don't stand out, right? Everybody is very similar, so you're not going to look at say, hey, Kent came in an awesome green long sleeve shirt today and a hat. He looks awesome, but I have to wear this suit.
Yeah.
I don't know, but my guess is it was kind of a thing to keep everybody cohesive, so you're not judging that person because he decided to wear a polo and you're wearing that tie. Everyone's blending in, right? Which is what everyone's kind of trying to do, is blend in, right? Trying to.
Well, that's what the powers that be would like.
Right.
Yeah. All the sheep to get in.
I'm sure ZZ Top has something to do with it also.
Right.
Right.
Subdress man.
I mean, I think in schools they were doing the uniform thing, so there was no reason for kids to tease you because you were all the same. Right? But like the corporate thing, the suits, is it making you feel better because you wear that suit? Because I know I feel much better when I dress, but I don't have anything. I wake up in the morning, I try to figure out what I'm going to wear instead of laying it out the night before.
So let's catch up. Never in history have we been able to get in people's business. Some make a living getting people to care what you think. Influencers, quote unquote, nonstop reality shows. Yes, welcome to the net.
Yeah, you're getting caught in that.
Yeah, it says, and secondhand is amazing. I just furnished my new apartment living room down to throw pillows and lamps with name brand, like new, everything. Fire 5. Yeah, I'm with you. We just ended up getting this really cool couch for like $120. I mean, it's just you look at this. I'm like, wow, what's wrong with it? Does it smell like cat piss? No. Okay, good. Let's take it.
It's a couch. Does it sit on it? Is it comfy? Doesn't smell great.
And then Shana says, "What's the deal with men and lawns? Nobody admits to the low key competition involved, even if it's with yourself." Yeah, that is true.
I think because the grass doesn't talk back to us. Doesn't tell us what to do.
You just cut it and it just goes away.
What?
You cut it and it just goes away.
Yeah. That's a good question. That's just a good question.
It is a good question. I mean, in some respects, it's a personal pride, right?
Yeah.
That I can take care of what I've own and what I do, right? I mean, I'm not in competition with my neighbors as far as grass grows, but I am in competition, I guess, to make sure that my house looks nice. I don't want to be that guy in the neighborhood whose house is like, okay, do they live there? Are they not taking care of their grass?
Yeah, but maybe everybody in the neighborhood, like, man, he's got such a good life, he doesn't care. Look at that.
Well, I was just going to say, and the person who doesn't care about their house and their car, they might have a great mental outlook.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Bless you. It is something. I'm not sure. Bless you again.
2 and 1.
We moved in December. I've got a beautiful yard.
So say you.
It is it's incredibly. Here's the deal. This yard is incredibly 10, 15 times nicer looking, in better shape than my old yard. Yeah. Right? Absolutely. And yet I still look at it and go, oh, there's a little spot there. Right? And truthfully, I start looking at it and go, what am I worried about? I mean, it looks nice. Who cares? There's a couple bald spots here or there, whatever, Nobody's ever come into my house and gone, well, we got to go. You got a couple bald spots in your backyard. This is unacceptable.
You know why? Because they don't give a shit. And that they don't give a shit for whatever reason, though. We think about that. And, and Lisa, I'm sure you can throw in quite a few cents on this one, but Why really? Why do we give a shit? What is inbred in us that, what taught us to care about what someone else thinks? I mean, it's ridiculous because the amount of time that's spent in people's lives worrying about what someone else thinks or how someone else does something is amazing. And you're wasting you're wasting your life, and you're wasting your time, and you're wasting your brain power. And it's easy to understand that, but we still continue to do it. It's like being on a hamster wheel.
It could be an inherent
Grass.
an inherent nature of human beings being tribal creatures, and then group thing is obviously one of the main characteristics of a tribe.
Yeah, right. What about do you get upset with weeds with weeds in your yard?
Well, so for me, I like to talk to people and find out what they're doing, quote unquote, to make their grass greener. Jesus Christ, you almost spilled coffee again.
Another cup of coffee.
What do you do? So my question, and this is, where I irritate some people, because I ask them straight out. I'm not afraid. What's going on? What are you doing that has put you at this point? Not your secret to success, so to speak, financially, but why? Because Kent, you always seem so happy and upbeat, and I know your life isn't perfect, right? But you portray, right? But you portray that's all good. You know what I mean?
It's all good.
What are you doing? What things that you do to help cultivate your brain, to make your grass greener on the inside, to do that? Because your perception is one of happiness, is one of fulfillment, is one of acceptance. And most people, those three words are non-existent in their life, regardless of what they have. A lot of the big rich people, they're rich because they keep striving, because they're empty inside. They're trying to get to some point.
Yeah.
More. Yeah. When is more enough?
Don, well, that's a good question, but let's go to Don. Hey, Deke, what's the shirt? Maybe you have talked about it before, but wondering. Yeah, no, that's Uncle Pete. It's Uncle Pete, and we're getting a store on our website. We'll be selling these Uncle Pete shirts.
It's Lelos, right?
Yeah. Live a life of significance. It's easy for you.
Significance.
Yeah, it's easy
like fig, but sig.
And that's our good friend Phil Wallace's company. So he created these shirts in honor of
and
Uncle
that's
Pete.
part of Bridging Civil Tension, which is on after the grounds at 9:00 today. So tune back in for that.
And what we're doing is helping out Mary Catherine. So the proceeds from these shirts will be sent to her to help her out. So.
And that's a beautiful thing, right? Because you're helping out. You're helping to green her grass, or give her some green.
Yeah.
Right.
So here's what I do is my folks raised, I think, all four of us boys really pretty well to not worry about what other people think, to just, if you have family and people that love you, that's all that matters, right? And so everybody, how can you be so upbeat? First of all, life is way too short to be anything other than happy and upbeat. Do we struggle? Yeah, human beings go through emotions and swings in your hormones and
ups, downs.
It's just the way it is, right? But at the end of the day, if you can look in the mirror and love yourself and know that you have a family that loves you, right? Whether it's children, spouse, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, whatever the case may be. If you're an only child, you've got that. And throughout life, God will place family into your life to let you know that you're loved, right? So if you can do that, and I tell my kids all the time, I'm like, if the world were to end tomorrow and you were the only person left in this planet, could you live with yourself? You have to be able to love yourself and live with yourself first, right?
That's a concept that I don't think a lot of people could actually even wrap their heads around.
Well, and I live under 4 rules, really, and I've got 10 rules of success here, right? But when I coach, I teach the athletes. I'm like, there's 4 rules to the game of basketball. One is it's a game, have fun. Number 2 is it's a game, have fun. Number 3 is always attack the basket. Whether you're on offense or defense, always attack the basket. And number 4 is trust. Trust your teammates, trust yourself, trust the plays, trust that the refs are going to make bad calls, trust that there's going to be somebody on the floor that's better than you.
That's
right?
a lot more than 4.
No, trust.
No, the trust. Okay,
Right.
yeah.
So you then take those and say, and instead of basketball, you put life in there.
Right.
And there's 4 rules to life. It's a game. Have fun.
Dude. I've got
Period.
a
Right.
big
That's
poster on my wall in my office that says "Life is game. Play it hard."
Have fun with it.
Right.
You can play hard and not have fun. Have fun.
Right.
Life is a game. Have fun. That's rule number 2. Number 3 is always attack the basket. The basket is the goal.
Right.
Always attack your goals, whether on offense or defense. You have to push and attack your goals in life. You have to go after them. And you're going to fall on your face.
But a lot of people don't have those
win
these
every
days.
game. You're going to fall on your face.
A lot of people don't have those these days.
And number 4, trust. Trust in yourself. Trust in your family. Trust in your friends. Trust that there's going to be bad things that happen in life. The ref's going to make a bad call. You're going to get pulled over. You're going to get hit with cancer. You're going to die from COVID. Something. Just trust that there's bad out there. And trust that there's always going to be somebody better than you at what you do or what you want to do. Right. And if you run under those four principles of life, right, then you're going to be okay.
Right.
Why? Because that's all you need.
Right.
Right.
Well, all you need is love.
That's it.
Right. And when we at Man Camp last year, that was the one thing that I was looking for inspiration for all of you older folks to give to my son. And everybody came up with a lot of really good thoughts and comments. But then Kent came up with his four ideas or rules that he lives by life. It actually brought a tear to my eye because of the simplicity. But it actually, I could see it in my son's eyes, who at 23 years old is, like any other 23-year-old, struggling for that identity, right? To figure out who he is, what he wants to do. And I saw it in his eyes that it really made him think. Well, you saw him too. It really hit him hard. And if we can keep everybody just looking at how you put it, the basics, right? And the problem is we've all gotten away from the basics. Now it's all become everybody else, what everyone else wants, not your four rules.
Well, here's the deal, and great. 87 down in Texas. God love you. It's 53.
Goodbye, Don.
Here in Northern Illinois.
It'll be 90 on Monday, so screw you.
It's 90 plus here, so stop complaining. It's night here and it's 90 plus in the night. So
says the guy on the equator.
Yeah.
So here's the deal, and here's the issue: is stop. Zach is who he is. He's not struggling to find out his identity. He has it. You're not the same guy at 53 as you were at 23.
Oh, hell. Well, yes and no.
Right.
But I definitely changed. Yeah.
But you're not. Take it. You're not the same guy you were 10 years ago.
Not the same guy I was yesterday.
You understand what I'm saying? So we can constantly evolve. It's a game. Have fun. Hey, right. Zach, it's a game. Go have fun. Live it. Trust.
Right.
It's attack your goals. Go out. You're going to fall on your face. Only the good die young. Hey, go live it. Right.
Right.
And so the tough thing is as a parent, we always want to say, this is how you need to take care of your grass.
And we don't know how to step back.
And I shouldn't give a shit because it's your grass.
Right. But so as the parent, you want them to have a better opportunity or potentially a better life than you. And that's where there's a fine line where from our last week's podcast where it was preacher or teacher. When is enough? When do you back off? When do you let them tend to their own grass? Do you wait until it starts burning out before you tell them, hey, put a little fertilizer on it, AKA read, educate, get some therapy?
Listen, I back off when my kids show me that they want me to back off. So, my 2 oldest will say, wow, you let Colette get away with everything. right? Colette's 19.
By the way, beautiful girl. I saw that
she-
picture the other day of her.
she's doing what 19-year-olds do, right? She's going to the local community college, and she lives in our house. But I tell my wife and I tell my two older kids, I'm like, yeah, if she was off at college at the University of Illinois, she'd be doing this shit, and I'd have no idea. I at least know where she's at. I go, did I, when you went to university, did I call you every night and go, hey, what are you doing out? It's 2 a.m, right? No, I back off my kids, and I'm there for support. Hey, Dad, I got a spot on my grass that needs help. All right, what do you need?
Read this book.
I'll support you, right? Whatever the case may be. Don says, I've been asked why I tend to be in a good mood all the time. And I say, I'd hate to be miserable on my last day. Absolutely. You never know, right?
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Yeah. That's why they call it today the present, right?
Yeah.
Well, so that's that point that you brought up about leaving your kid alone. That is one thing that I try.
There is no try. There's either do or do not.
Right. Okay.
Yoda.
I had an issue, or I have an issue, like when he was away at school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When I was away at school, I didn't talk to my parents until if I came home, which I came home about a lot because I, just separation anxiety, right? Well, with texting, you're constantly, or, social media, you're constantly in touch with them instead of letting them be who they are. My wife and my son will text a million times when he was away at college.
Yeah.
I'll shoot a text once a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm trying, it's hard, but I'm trying to stay away from him, let him figure out, how tall, how he needs to tend to his grass, AKA grass, right? What he's doing for his brain, what things he's trying to accomplish. And I keep using that word try because it is hard for me to let them blossom on their own, to let them grow. Because
your pops let you. Look how good you guys are, and look at your relationship.
Yeah. Actually, I'll see him again today.
See,
because of my inner insecurities is why I keep doing it, because I'm trying to help them, which helps me. Right, my inner securities says that I didn't, even though they're showing me and doing it, it's still hard. I feel like I still need to be for them because that's what my purpose in life was, to make sure that they have a much better life than me and that they're happy. And I think that actually backfires on me a lot.
Your purpose in life was to release them from the nutsack.
Well, I did that very well. Thank you. I got an A+ on that one.
That's your purpose in life, right?
Right.
Now they swam away and they fought like hell. Right. Let them be, right?
Well, and my thing is, I don't want to see them struggle the way I did, and I want them to know that I'm there for them, because I never, as a kid, I never reached out to my parents as far as I can remember. And Dad, if I'm wrong, please chime in. But I never reached out to them. I was afraid to talk to them. I was just like sometimes I'm afraid to talk to my wife and tell her what's going on in my head.
Well, listen. Hey, there's a gentleman who spent 20 years in prison for a crime that he didn't commit, and his son now is 18, 19 years old, 20 years old, 21, I guess, 22. I don't know. I guess young. If he spent 20 years, he's at least 21 or 22. And the dad is like, hey, come and sit in this cell that I just spent 20 years in, so you don't have to sit in this cell.
He wants him to experience life from his point of view.
You understand what I'm saying? Why would you put a kid in prison? Why would you ask somebody to come sit in your cell that you didn't belong in anyway? Listen, we're going to spend time here
showing you this is what you don't want.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. No, I hear you. And it's showing what you don't want.
You got to be able to go, you know what? This is kind of kooky. The public has developed a taste of vengeance. It's terrible seeing businesses targeted for boycott before any due process. Fact becomes a mere annoyance. Scary to be a business owner in this culture. Do you have concerns?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think my wife has a little bit more concerns with things. I mean, when we're doing things for the businesses, she's very concerned about putting off this image and the things that we say. And for me, I get a little upset because I go, you know what, babe, it really doesn't matter. This is our business. We offer, let's just take, Reese's, the pet supply store, for instance, right? We offer good quality products at a good affordable price. And if you don't like my social media post or a word that I use, don't use me, right? I mean, we are who we are. This is what I'm doing. I don't, she's like, oh, if I say that, I'm going to get so much kickback or so much slack back on social media. Well, you know what? Then it is what it is. Just be you.
Look at the mayor here.
Right. It's just, but I mean, just be you and do what you feel is right. It's your business. Don't succumb to what someone else thinks you should do, because then now you're just becoming one of the sheep.
If you focus on the things you don't want in life, that's the things you're going to end up with.
Right.
You
have to attract the positivity.
Here's the bottom line. Too many people attach themselves to a job, to an occupation. Too many people attach themselves, their identity to a thing. Hey, what do you do? Oh, I am a mortgage banker. Well, that's not what I do. That's the title I have. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, that's what I do for a living. That's not who I am. Right. That's what puts food on my table.
Listen, and people are like, man, if I lose my job, I lose anything. That's horse shit. As long as you got breath in your lungs and you can move, right? Ted's not on today. Ted Legal, great guy. Spina bifida. He's in a wheelchair. And I look at his grass and go, man, this guy is strong. Runs businesses, does things from a wheelchair. We had him here. We're on the second floor with no ADA, right? Don't
say that.
It's the truth. It's a grandfathered in building, right?
Right.
His kid had to carry the chair up the stairs while he hopped up the stairs on his hands.
He's not letting his
right. And I look at that and go, this guy is so strong. I don't think he has the mental capacity to be in his spot.
But you won't know until you get there,
right?
Until you've been put, but until you're put in that situation, you don't. And that's the thing. Is a lot of people don't realize what they're capable of until they're put in that situation.
But here's what I'm saying. But at the same time, I don't look and go, I want his life. You understand what I'm saying? I think he's one of the strongest people.
Why don't you want his life?
Mentally, physically, the guy is amazing, right? And we always see that, and I look and go, I like my grass. I like being able to walk upstairs.
You're able to appreciate it.
Okay. So his grass is very green to me, and good for you.
But you don't want.
I don't want that lawn, right? My kids the same way. Guess what? You now have your own lawn. You now have your own grass. I'll come over. You need help cutting the lawn? I'll cut it. You need help with anything? I'll come down, take down a bush, whatever. But trust me, you know what I'm saying? And I look at my daughter and my son who have amazing lives, and I can take pride in that because when I was their age, I don't think I had the same amazing life. Now, I was married. I already had a couple of kids. At 25, I had our first kid. At 27, which is my son's age, we had a second kid. And life was good. I was very blessed, right? But I look at these guys and go, man, look at the money they're making. Look at the things they're doing. Life is great for these guys, and I'm excited, right? Now, how often do we talk? Ashley talks with her mom quite often. Ashley and I will talk, through a group text or whatever, maybe once or twice a week. How often do I talk to Spencer? She's a lot like me. Whenever I feel the need or miss him, or he feels the need or misses me, that's it. It would go 2 months, whatever. Right? He was deployed for 10 months. Guess how many times we talked to him in 10 months? 0. You can't. Right? That's just the way that it is. All right, let's go.
Don. Don says our challenge when we say we want to give our children a better life, we are usually talking about them not financially struggling, while we also say happiness is not just about money. Yeah. Well, money does not make you happy. Money can help you to not struggle, but it doesn't, trust me, does not bring you happiness, because you can have all the things in the world. And
you don't shop at the same place I do, then.
Well, you need money to survive. But I can tell you how many people I know that are very,
there are a lot of people
very wealthy. There's a lot of people that are wealthy that I know that are just some of the most unhappy, miserable cusses.
And before I went on that rant, the big thing too is you can't tie yourself to a thing. Listen, oh man, if this business closes, we're doomed. No, it's not. I'll hustle. I'll find a way.
Right.
I'll sell a kidney if I have to, whatever it takes. That's the type of person that I am. I ain't gonna give up and give in. Let's go. Right.
Right.
Bob says what?
Reaching out and communicating can be accomplished by means other than vocalizing. Actions speak much louder than words many times.
Most times.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, like what I was saying earlier is I I I would personally did not talk a lot with my parents and use their knowledge, right? I listened to what my friends said or what I thought or paid attention to their family and what I thought was the big, what was going to make me happy and what was going to be, the to bring me this joy and to enjoy life, right? Instead of coming to mom and dad, see, so because mom and dad, hopefully.
Bob, are you disappointed in your son?
Oh my God.
Right.
But I mean,
you don't have to answer
right,
that. I'm just saying,
right.
I'm going to bet that he's not.
Right. But and the one thing I tell my kids is says the answer I might give you, you might not like, but it's going to be the honest truth. Right. If you ask me a question, I'm going to tell you really how I feel or what I think, where if you're asking somebody else, you might not get that.
Yeah.
They might be blowing smoke up your ass, but we need that.
Yeah.
We need to feel comfortable. As a kid, I'm assuming, because I don't really remember, I was always out doing things.
So
not comfortable asking how they tended their grass. I mean, readers are leaders. I hate reading, but now the more that I read, my grass is getting greener and greener and greener, and I'm understanding these things. I was blessed in my life to have you come into my life and to talk to me about these things. People, if you don't know Kent in any way, shape, or form, he is a blessing and just an absolute wonderful person to know because
that's all the time we got, folks.
He does to me what I'm trying to do to everybody else. He makes me question everything.
Yeah.
He makes me think about some of the stupid, crazy comments that I make, right? That you guys might think are crazy, stupid, but to me is gospel, so to speak, right? And I go, whoa, wait a minute. Let me think about that. And that is what that's what it's all about.
I like being a pattern interrupt. Gary, congratulations to Gary. Your firstborn just got graduated Polytech, right?
Cheers.
Yeah.
So where are you at on all this? Are you trying to manipulate that child and say, "Oh, you need to turn left"?
No.
Turn.
It's all totally her own decision. What she wanted to do. She's in early childhood education. So she's going to be a preschool teacher actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
God bless her, but man, what a job.
Yeah.
It's totally it's up to her. That she enjoys working with children and things like that. So yeah, go ahead. Knock yourself out. Make a mark in the world. Get the young ones, introduce death metal to the young ones, introduce the underground scene to the young ones, get them brainwashed into it or whatever.
Well-rounded, right? Get them all well-rounded.
So
expose them to whatever there is in the world, and
Well, yeah, it's a good one because Salvador Villalobos says that my father told me when I was a young dad, young need to experience hunger, cold, hot. You have to help them build a strong moral character because the world is unforgiving.
And congratulations.
In a way, it's true.
This is now National Honor Society.
Wow,
that's pretty big.
It is big. Yeah. It is big.
And yes,
but did the kid learn anything from becoming that? National Honor Society is actually well-rounded because that's not just, if I'm remembering correctly, National Honor Society is not just about your academics. It's also about outside, giving extra, like helping in the community, right? It's a well-rounded thing. It's not just A's and B's. It's also
it's holistic. It's a holistic thing, I think.
Yeah, holistic thing. Yeah, my parents were excited because I was the National Get Your Ass to In-School Suspension Society.
Oh wow, okay.
You can't give your kid everything. They have to work for it, struggle for it, fail at it, and earn it. Yeah, you're right. And here's what I tell. Growing up in Iowa, you see a lot of cows in the pasture, right? Or horses, and we would go by in the winter, and there's snow piling up on these cows' backs, or it's a rain, it's cold, wet, and rainy, and the cows are just standing out there. And my kids having good heart. Oh my gosh, look at those poor cows. I said, you know what about those cows? They go, what? I go, they don't know what cold or wet is. No one's ever told them.
Well, that's right? Their life. That's right.
This is just their life.
That's just what their life is.
It's their lot in life,
Right. And so I said, but if you watch them, they will put their backs together and create circles. They just automatically do things to protect the herd. But I go, they don't know that they're wet or cold because nobody's ever told them that they're wet.
They don't
and cold,
know any different.
right?
They don't know any different.
So that's it. Kent, to answer your question, we think Scott is an awesome person. His opinions are more important than ours, however.
Thanks.
Yeah, and that's the truth. And here's what I absolutely love, Bob, about your relationship with your son is that you guys still hang out and do work on things that you're both passionate about, and you take time for each other, and that is amazing. My folks live 4 hours away, and every chance that they have to come this way, or they come this way more often now than I go that way because of just how crazy life is. I cherish those moments. And, as my pops, my folks are 80, 81 years old. I tell my kids all the time, if they're around, take time because, maybe got 10 more years with them. Right. Maybe not.
Yeah. Same with my dad. He's 83. We'll be together today. We're going to spend the weekend together, working on some stuff, and then, celebrating Mother's Day, which
with your father, that's great.
With my father, yeah. He is a mother some days. You know what I mean? Dad, thank you. Mom, thank you. I know she's back there too. You guys have done a great job with me, and
you have.
We are reaching the end of the show. We're actually past and over today, but that's okay. But,
we had to clean up coffee,
right? Yeah, but you guys did an amazing job. And everyone out there that's raising kids and raising a family, or just don't have family, but just have, your own kids, but be a parent to somebody, help them to green, help their grass become greener, teach them, let them know, show them, teach them, preach to them a little bit, but teach them, be the solution that you, how's that whole saying go? Be the base
change you want to see.
Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the person that you want to see everyone else be. Right? Give what you can, because giving, for me, makes me feel better and makes me know that I'm making a difference one person at a time.
And Sal says, let them try everything. They will fail at most, but they will find their true passion. And let me just caveat that as we bounce out. Let everyone, not just your kids, encourage everyone to try everything. If they fail, don't look and say, ha ha, I one-upped you. If they are successful, don't try to chop them down because you're jealous. Absolutely just do that with everybody, and understand that we all have the same yard. We just decided to put a fence through the middle of it. It's the same grass, folks, in the neighborhood. So just, we appreciate you joining us here this morning on the grounds. Gary, as always, thank you. Even though there's not a lot of grass there in your concrete jungle.
Yeah, well.
But come back in about a half hour, bridging civil tension. Big day today. Yep. So we're always having fun here at 21.6 Net. We're blessed and humbled that you guys spent a little time on our lawn today.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in today. It's with the grounds, joining us in the net here. Guys, live by that principle. Go out, help somebody, be nice to somebody, realize that, you know what, they are looking at your grass and probably thinking it's greener. How about try to help them understand and see that their grass is green and that they should just love their grass. Love you all. Be good. Have a wonderful weekend. And if your mom is still around, make sure you give her a huge hug this week. You don't have to buy them anything. Just give them a hug and let them know that you appreciate them. From the net, 216 in the grounds. Giles and Jones, out.